Mr. Speaker, I would like to know why this bill would not have gone through the Environmental Committee. I don't know if I can ask that at this point.
Not necessarily. Almost all the housing bills, since I can remember, have always gone through municipal government.
Okay. The reason why I ask is because...
Did you request it to go to environment, or...?
No, I did not, Mr. Speaker. I'm just curious because when I read the legislation, I mean, I'll be voting no on this because I care about water quality. The town of Scituate, Rhode Island has a huge issue right now with a density issue for in a zone that is clearly within the boundaries of, or the very close to the Scituate Reservoir. And the legislation on page 5 says that the calculation shall exclude wetlands, and the original legislation said that it would also exclude wetland buffers. Wetland buffers are now taken out of this legislation. So the Scituate Reservoir services about 2/3 of the state with fresh, clean, potable drinking water. Why would a bill like this remove wetland buffers and allow contaminants and all sorts of stuff to infiltrate our public water supply? It's beyond me. I sit on the Environmental Committee, and it's really interesting because on the Environmental Committee, we talk about things like microplastics, we talk about things like PFAS, we talk about things that will enter our water supply. And yet, when it comes to increasing density and reducing wetland buffers, I find it amazing that we would allow a bill like this to have that effect on a public drinking supply. It's interesting also because on April 9th, I sat through a committee hearing, and the director of DEM, Terry Gray, actually went through an entire Act on Climate and climate change status update. And he went through great detail talking about the fact that in the spring of 2025, we were going to be going through a fact-finding or a data-gathering session. So why are we actually jumping on this too soon? We also have from DEM a recent article that was in the Providence Journal. Scott Millar, who is an environmental scientist and a land use planner and a former DEM administrator, went through great lengths basically saying that we're going to have unintended consequences from increasing density in certain areas. In fact, I found another article from just 2023 where he basically says that balancing housing with protecting water resources requires a smart approach. So for this one reason, this bill should be going back. We should not be voting on this bill. If everyone in here cares about water quality for 2/3 of the state, this bill should be going back. We should not be voting on this tonight. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Representative. won't speak for the chairman or the sponsor, but I believe the density you're talking about, I mean, the wetland buffer is only for density and not for building. That's my understanding and my read of the bill, but I will defer if the chairman, and by the way, that's already the law that the General Assembly has done a long time ago. We don't count the wetland buffer for density calculation, but we do respect the buffer for building, and that's long established principle here in the General Assembly in the state.